Yes.
Here's Izzy.
Hi.
Hello?
Izzy?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Mark Allan, the Indianapolis Star.
How you doing? Good.
Good.
Tell you for that review you guys gave. Well, we'll talk about that.
No, that's a genuine love that record review, you know?
Cheers, man. My dad, he faxed me that over when we were in Japan. Yeah, he says, you guys got a great ride up here in the Indy Star. I was like, yeah, and see it. And everybody was stoked in the band. Appreciate it.
Oh, no, I was just absolutely knocked out, because I had no idea what to expect, you know? I didn't know if you were going to come back with a record that sounded like Guns N' Roses, or if you had some other ideas, and boy, I put that on, and I was just, blown away, so... Anyway, you got a couple of fairly sentimental songs on there about Indiana, and from, I guess, you've been quoted as saying in the past, I didn't think you had a whole lot of feeling for this state.
Yeah, my wife was ribbing me this morning about that. Because you got to understand, from 1980 to 87, I was in California, and Guns N' Roses, we did some reviews back, some interviews, like the first ones we'd done in 86 or 85, Drunker Than Shit, and the subject of Indiana came up, and somehow, we were sputtering crap about it. But I moved back to Indiana in 1988, 89. I came back after Guns N' Roses had been out on tour and made some money, and I bought a house back there, and I've based out of there since. And I don't know, it's just a case of my family. I've got family, and I've got old friends back there, and kind of got to know the place again, I suppose. But I dig it back there. I was just out there last week, and we flew out here to get this. We're starting up our tour now.
Is it going to be strange for you to come home and play a club?
It's going to be killer. Looking so forward to it. We just got back off a tour. We've been out for 3 months, Europe, Japan, Australia. And the first gig we did before the tour started, we did a quick club gig up in Chicago. And it was sort of a launch. We wanted to launch the tour out of the States and then come back and do it right. And the response we got up there was really great, and the people made us feel really good. So, in Indianapolis, well, last time, we did the...
You did Deer Creek. Oh, and then I can't remember what the order was. I think it was Farm Aid first, and then Deer Creek with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Deer Creek. Yeah. Right, yeah, and most of the gigs, I wasn't... Well, I was playing in Guns N' Roses, and so when Axl would start to go off on a tirade, I'd kind of stand there and go, oh, come on, let's go, next song. Kind of embarrassing, but,
That's how it felt in the audience,
too.
There's
no shutting him up.
Yeah.
Once he gets going, that's it.
No kidding. Well, one of the things that I like so well about the record is that it's such a raw rock and roll album. How close to live is this?
When we recorded it, we did it like this. We would rehearse the song. Sometimes it was just me, Jimmy, and Charlie. Sometimes it was me, Jimmy, and Rick. And we'd rehearse it and get it to where it sounded decent and go in and play it through like 3 or 4 times and then move on to the next song. So in the course of a day, we would get through quite a few songs, and then we'd go back and pick the stuff out that seemed to be a good take of it. So it was mostly live, and we'd go back and throw on some overdub stuff for like vocals and guitar solos and maracas, stuff like that.
So mostly live, which is exactly the way it sounds, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, after working on Illusions records for like 2 years, and recording, I don't know, God, there were so many songs, I can't remember all of them. I just really had the urge to just go in and do it how we did Appetite for Destruction, which was you go in and just track it live, do 3 or 4 takes, and move right along, no messing around.
The record got, I guess you would say, fairly positive reviews, but everyone notes how much it sounds like the Stones.
Yeah.
Does it sound like the Stones to you?
Well, not Bucket of Trouble.
No.
Not Pressure Drop. There's 2 guitars. I mean, there's the obvious 2 guitar thing that's happening. It definitely has Stones influence and Stones vibes, and it's got a lot of other things too in it that maybe they're not as obvious, but to me, I mean, it sounds like the kind of music I like to play in here, so... And I love the Stones and reggae. I like any music, really. I listen to all kinds of stuff, even classical or just anything. I just love music.
In retrospect, would you make the same record again?
Yeah, I think the next one we do, we'll do it the same style, same groove. And that's the main thing, is keep the grooves in the songs. We try to lean towards make sure each song had a good groove that you could follow.
If you had been unknown before this record, do you think critics would have cut you some slack?
I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say because I never have understood what motivates someone to write a bad review or what motivates someone to really want to put some people down, like bands. Like, I read a review of Keith Richards' show when he played L.A. It was just sort of, I don't know, kind of sarcastic, and they said he did pointless rendition of this and that. And I think, I saw those guys play live, and I thought they were just great. I'm sorry, you were asking me that?
Well, I guess I wondered if you had been unknown, would they have looked at the record differently? I mean, I just wonder if people are thinking about you and thinking about Guns N' Roses and comparing those two, and would your reviews have been different, maybe more favorable or something else?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Anyway, let me ask you about some of the songs. Shuffle It All makes it sound like you're kind of exhausted by the whole rock and roll lifestyle. Is that an accurate reading of the song as you wrote it at the time?
That song was a song that Jimmy and I put the music together for first. He had this bass riff, and we put that song together without any lyrics first, and started putting the lyrics together, and I had a lot of lyrics for that song, like more than any on the album. It took the longest for me to write that one. And yeah, it ended up being a lot of, I guess, just flashing back on constantly living out of a suitcase and constantly traveling, but at the same time enjoying it. But yeah, at that time I think the baggage was getting a little heavy, maybe.
Yeah, so I would figure that you feel differently about the lifestyle now, being in...
I've always loved touring. I got a bad rap from the Gunners about, not wanting to tour and do videos and all that. I've always loved traveling, and I've always loved playing different places. I'm not really sure what that song is exactly about, but it's basically about always putting those bags, shuffling the stuff out of your bags, and because I've lived from suitcase to suitcase for the last, since '86.
It really gives, kind of this impression of just being tired of what you'd been going through, and so I kind of figured that may have been something that you were writing either while you were still with Guns N' Roses or just after it.
Yeah, it was just after.
Yeah. What are your recollections of the train tracks that you, other than what you sing about in the song? I have a very similar. The same thing happened to me. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do when I was a kid. So.
Yeah, well, it's where I grew up in Lafayette. We lived by the train tracks. That's where we used to hang out all the time. Was down there. We'd ride dirt bikes and just hang out and build tree forts, all that kind of stuff. And it was just like my favorite place to be or to hang out. And when I came back there in '88, that was the first place I went back to when I got back there. And I was just kind of hanging out, going, man, this place, I used to love hanging out here. This is my favorite place. And that got the idea going for the song back then. It's just kind of a what's it called, a biography tune or something, A little bit about, because that's where I used to hang out, and we moved out to the West Coast, and boom, this band popped and got a bunch of bad habits and kicked all that shit, and, but I still like hanging out down there.
Did your family, did that song make them feel a little squirrely talking about getting stoned by the train tracks?
No, I haven't gotten no flack yet from my pop or my mom, so I guess, well, there's no lyrics on the liners.
Yeah, that's true.
My dad, I think they like the record.
What caused you to write the song Come On Now Inside?
I wrote that back in Lafayette, right before I came back out to L.A. to hook up with Jimmy, bass player. It was after I left Guns N' Roses, and it was one of the first winters that I'd ever really spent that much time back in Indiana, and I was there for just about a month, and man, it's like, it just was the weather was really bad, and I was sitting around, and one day the sun came up, man, and I started feeling really good, and I just forgot how good it felt to have a little sunshine, and I was setting up my 8-track and pulling out guitars and stuff, and I just tracked that song and just put it all together right there, and it's just one of those songs.
Tell me about Morning Tea, which I'm told is the title of the uncredited song.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing and completely unexpected in many aspects. You don't know that it's coming, for one thing.
Well, how it started was I've always wanted to do like just a percussion thing. I've always been into drums. I I played drums before I played guitar or bass or anything. We did this thing in Chicago, and we had everybody, the road crew and the band and everybody, we all playing different drums, and I got a couple of these Indian drums that I bought down in Oklahoma, like ceremonial drums, and the song started out, we did it in Chicago, and then we mixed the album in Copenhagen, and Jimmy met this guy, his name's Agaf, and he's Rastafarian, and he teaches African tribal drums. That's what he does for a living. And we met this guy, and we hung out with him, and he was a super cool guy. He's never been to America, which really blew my mind. Talking to a guy, he's from Africa, living in Copenhagen, and he's never been to America, so he has no idea what it's like here. But so he showed me like a basic pattern of this one drum beat, or there were 3 parts to it. He showed me the basic beat, and I could play the basic beat. The other stuff was really complicated. It was really hard for me to learn how to play any of that other stuff. And so we did a live track. It was me and him. I played just doom 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 on this talking drum, and then he played the answer drum, which came back. I go doom doom doom, and he go bum bum bum, something like that. And then we added like 2 more tracks to it, and at the end it was finished up. We had this track of guitar feedback, and we kind of stuck that in there with it. It was a trip, though. I mean, that drumming stuff is really powerful. Some of these guys that really know what they're doing, it's incredible. It's like trance.
Yeah, well, is that the kind of thing that you might try more of in the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's something. I've still got these tapes. I've got all these. It's West African ritual drums, and they've got like for ceremonials, like when a child is born, or they're having celebration. They have like war songs and stuff like that. I've always listened to these tapes over the years. I turned Steven Tyler onto a tape when we were on tour with him back in '87 with Guns N' Roses, and they used some of that stuff on the beginning of, what was it called, some kind of voodoo off of Pomp.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Yeah, sure, I'd love to do some more stuff with it. Maybe on the next album, do just like a song, have it part of the record or something, or an intro maybe.
Agafa, do you have any idea how to spell that?
Yeah, it's A-G-A-F-A.
Okay.
He's got a really long name. It was like Agafa Atsu Amarty. Really long.
We'll give up on that part.
Yeah,
but,
so we just called him Agafa.
Yeah, good plan. How do you feel as a front man? Are you comfortable in the spotlight?
Yeah, it's fine. It's I always say at GNR rehearsal, most of the rehearsals, it was usually just the band. Axl wasn't usually at all the rehearsals, so I'd always been singing guidebooks for Welcome to the Jungle and Paradise City and all that stuff, and it was always something I'd been doing, but it was a pretty easy step to go into that. I mean, the first week, it was one of those things where you're going, I say to myself, well, I can sing enough, to pull this off. And the only question would have been whether or not my voice would take it, whether it would hold up to it. And after 3 months of being on the road, it's no problem. You got to do some warm-ups. You need to do like 20 or 30 minutes of warm-up every night. And that's about it, really.
Yeah.
Hi, it's me, Denise. I want to give you a little wrap-up signal.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Just a couple of things then. Are you still friendly with those guys, Guns N' Roses?
Yeah. Duff tried calling me here last night, like 4 in the morning, but I was sleeping, and I got the message this morning, and I saw Slash in New York last year in January, and I've talked to Matt. I haven't talked to Axl for the last year, since December of '91, but I'm sure he's been busy, but I've left the doors open if they want to call or anything like that. There's no animosity on my part.
One thing I got to ask you is, what the hell is wrong with that guy?
Who?
Axl.
I don't know, man. You'll have to ask him.
He's just, I don't know. Forget about the conduct, and all the weird things. I mean, that guy's just out of control.
Yeah. You gotta wonder.
Yeah, I thought maybe you had some clue since you've known him for so many years.
I really don't.
How'd you feel when you saw that "Where's Izzy" sign in the video? Did that make you mad?
What was that Don't Cry video?
Yeah.
I thought, well, shit, I'm here in Indiana, man. I thought, what do you mean, where am I?
Since you got to go, I wanted to ask you, can we do something in person and more in depth when you're home?
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to just, either come up and talk to you at the house, or, if you don't want to do that, just, kind of driving around Lafayette and talking about places you used to hang when you were a kid and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man, that could be cool.
Yeah.
We're going to be back there in a few weeks here on tour.
Right.
So maybe we could set something up. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people down there from Lafayette. There'll be probably a scene, but we could probably hook up something maybe in the daytime or.
That'd be great. That'd be great. How can we work this?
I guess you need to get a hold of Allan, the management, or tell Geffen.
Okay.
And try to set it up in advance.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Because there's a lot of things I want to ask you, and I knew we only had 20 minutes, so I'm just covering the bases. But,
yeah, sure. We could do something again.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, then. Thanks. I'm really looking forward to the show. I think this is gonna be really cool. Do you have a lot of stuff that's unreleased that you're gonna be playing?
Yeah, we got a few songs that we haven't recorded yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you go, and I'll try to set something up, and I hope we can get it together. I can't wait to see you.
Cool, man.
All right, Mark. Thanks. Bye bye.